OMG, am I excited for this new podcast, the Awesome Human Podcast. Darren, cue that new jingle we've done.
Welcome to the Awesome Human Podcast, your path to total human optimization. Ready to unleash your 100%? Let's go.
Welcome to the Awesome Human Podcast with your host, Ben Coomber, as I discover practical, actionable, tactical things that you can do to be a more awesome human in less than 30 minutes a week. That is the big promise of my new show. So you might be sat there thinking, right, Ben, what is an awesome human? Let me explain. So I've been a high performance coach now for about 18 years. And through that 18 years, there's been a lot of different parts of that journey on a personal level and on a professional level. So I understand a decent amount of science around health, nutrition, fitness, personal development. But within that, I've also experienced and pushed myself to experience a huge amount of change on a very personal level. And change does only come when we actually want to change. Now, what I feel this does is it affords me, I feel, a slightly unique perspective because I can distill and understand many different concepts that we hear and see on the internet, but also I can wrap that up in a huge amount of experience and difficult journeys. And I'm not saying my journeys are more difficult than other people. I would just describe them as challenging journeys for myself on my own. And within that allows me to have perspectives that can really, hopefully, more so open up your perspective and give you more actionable things to do. And this is where I see there's a little bit of a gap in podcasting right now. Now, I love, like anyone, to be given information that I want to progress myself in as minimal amount of time as possible. A huge amount of podcasters right now are doing hour, 2 hour, 3 hour long podcasts. And don't get me wrong, they're doing amazing things. They're talking to incredible guests. They're exploring deep conversations that have to meander and unfold over time. But I think there's an opportunity to gather thinking and insights and experience and science and wrap that up into something far more concise. Why can't we take the concept of deep sleep optimization and wrap it all up in a 20-minute show with real actionable tactical things that you can go, right, boom, I'm going to try these 3 new things to improve the quality of my deep sleep, for example. And what would be the return on investment there? If you could do that, how would it affect your enjoyment of life, your state within your life, the way that you're able to perform? And that'll actually be the topic of my first proper show. This is an intro. This is me giving you a flavor of what the awesome human is, getting you excited for what's to come. So that first show is going to explore the value and potential in our physiological state and how that leads to our internal story and the health of our internal story, and then the strategies that we employ in our daily lives to be better. So what I've gone away and done and spent a lot of time thinking while I've been trying to get better, and that's why I left podcasting. I was very ill, had long COVID, testosterone deficiency. It affects my mental, physical, emotional, spiritual health for a long time, and I had to get better before I came back and decided to deliver something to you, the people that want to listen to what I have to say. And within that time thinking, I was trying to constantly distill concepts down into things that were really easy to grasp. Like, how do we take all of this information and how do we bring it together to find clarity, to find action, to find real meaning and depth? And that's where I developed the Awesome Human. So initially for me, the Awesome Human is an energy. Think about life. Ultimately, life is about energy. We get life breathed into us the moment we come out of the womb, cords cut, we breathe life into ourselves, and it's a form of energy. Oxygen is energy, food is energy, nature helps us with energy. Physical touch is energy. We are either giving our body more energy on a physical, mental, emotional level, or we are taking it away. So this word awesome for me is an energy. If I say to you, how awesome out of 10 are you right now? And you might say 6. And you wrap it up in this feeling, right? And feeling is connected to energy. So I'm not trying to get woo-woo with you here and try and paint this like fluffy cloud around human optimization. What I'm trying to say to you is all of this can be boiled down into energy. When we talk about nutrition, we're talking about the energy we get from food. When we talk about sleep, we're talking about the recovery we give to our body to then give us energy in the day to perform, heal, etc. So when I look at the word awesome, it's an energy. It's a feeling. It's you having the ability to go, this is how awesome I am out of 10. And if you have read my first book, my best-selling book, How to Live an Awesome Life, I actually give a score in that process where you can score yourself to look at all these 11 steps that I gave people in that book. If you've not read it, I'd highly recommend you read it. There's a huge amount of 5-star reviews on Amazon where it's changed a lot of people's lives. But awesome is an energy. So when I look at the awesome human, I'm looking at the human, me, you, friends, family, people we love, human, and what it means to be human, and wrapping an energetic state and feeling around that word. And that's where the awesome human has come from. So if I was to boil down what the awesome human looks like into 3 core sections, imagine a triangle, and we split it down the middle and then across. There's 3 sections. One of those areas is physiological state. Another is psychological state. The third area is purposefulness. So to be complete, almost function well, we need to be physiologically optimal, or at least trying to be, or at least 80% there kind of thing. And then the psychology, how we're thinking, how we're feeling, like our psychological state, which also looks at our emotional state, our spiritual state, what we understand about the world, what we believe about the world. And then there's our purposefulness. And that is the actions and behaviors and things that we do every day in our lives. The jobs that we have, the places that we travel, the people that we see. Do they feel purposeful, enjoyable, fulfilling? Because that is ultimately what we're doing in life. That is our experience of life. So if I was to boil the awesome human down into these 3 core areas, that is what they would be. And I want you to think right now in this moment, where is my physiological state? Right now, where is my psychological state? And right now, how purposeful does my life, does my actions, do the things that I do feel? And if I could change some of that stuff, I believe if you could change some of that stuff, you would be a more awesome human. And that's where this all comes from. Now, I have written a book. And right now I want to focus more of my attention on the physiological optimization of the human. So that can often be more tangible. And for me, it's actually the basis of psychological improvement and purposeful improvement. It's very hard to perform at your best and think differently if you do not have at least a well-functioning physiological state, your physical body, how well slept you are, how well eaten you are, etc. So when I look at the area of human physiological function, I break it down into 5 core areas. 1, sleep. 2, nutrition. 3, fitness. 4, central nervous system functioning. 5, hormonal system functioning. Now within that, there are going to be nuances and layers like all of this stuff. There are other things around it as well. But when I look at the big levers when it comes to physiological function, and this is through the science that I know and understand, and through the experiences that I've had in my life and coaching thousands of people, when we can get sleep right, food right, fitness right, central nervous system functioning, hormonal system healthy, you're going to be on your way to being a very awesome human being. So if I can help you with that, which is what this show, especially in its early days, is going to do, and the new book that I've written, which is a very concise, high-performance manual around human optimization, it's 26 pages long, you are going to be way closer to being an awesome human. So a lot of the early shows are going to focus around that. So, what to expect? Expect a lot from me. And do you know what? I want stuff back from you. I do not want you to be a passenger on this show. The more that you can be involved with me on this show, the more awesome this show is going to be. When I post something online, talk to me about it. Comment. If you've got feedback for the show, drop into my DMs. If you've got an idea for the show, drop into my DMs. If you've got a question, a topic, anything for the show, help me make it better. So many of us engage with podcasts now in a very passive way. It's very transactional. Oh, put this podcast on. Oh, go for a walk. Podcast finishes. We have a think, hopefully, about the actions and things that we want to implement from that show. But what if you had a connection with that guest? What if you could have open dialogue? And you will get that with me. If you have feedback, questions, anything, get involved. Slip into my DMs on Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, and get involved in the show, because you'll get more out of it. And also, it will help me refine my craft. If I'm not delivering information that allows you to actually go away and do something with it, I have not done my job. And my job here is to serve. My job here is to inspire, to educate, and give you things that you can actually do. So you can be higher performing, more fulfilled, happier, and enjoy your life. So, thank you for having me back in your ears. If you've listened to this, if you've got this far, then you are on board, I hope. I hope I've given you the inspiration to keep listening. A new show will go live tomorrow. This will be the first official show, and you'll get a sense of the format and the actual feel of the show. And just think today, if I'm going to leave you with any thoughts, think about those 3 pillars. Where are you at right now on a score out of 10 of feeling awesome in those 3 key areas? Physiological function, psychological feeling and performance, and purposefulness within your life. If you can start to break things down in your life and put them in those buckets, you are way closer to a solution. And when I think about this show and what it can do, I want to move people closer to solutions to the things that they're trying to figure out. We are in a world of mass information. No problem really now is unsolvable in our day-to-day lives because there's so much information out there. The problem people have from talking to a lot of people and curating this show is finding clarity, finding sense, and being able to find it quickly. So if I can produce a show where I'm like, hey, here's everything you need to know about optimizing deep sleep in 20 minutes, that's going to be hugely valuable to you, rather than you listening to a 3-hour show that rambles around and you have to sort of unpick the actions within it. And that's what I see right now. I see part of my job is being able to bring together this sea of information and bring it into a form where you can say, let me go and try these 2 things and see how it affects X. That's what I'm aiming to do. So thank you. Please get excited. Please, this is my number 1 ask from today. Actually, 2 asks. Firstly, if you've enjoyed this, subscribe to the show, and then it's going to ping on your phone or computer or whatever device you get your podcast pingers on. Secondly, please send this to a person you think will enjoy it. If this has resonated with you, the chances are you've got a friend or 2 that's similar to you that would enjoy this. Please send it to them. I'd love to have them on the ride. Right, expect lots of good things. New show tomorrow. Thank you. The awesome human is here.